Hello and welcome. This video will tell you everything you need to know to complete Assignment 1, the class flyer. In Blackboard, you'll click on the module first, and then you can review the student learning objectives, what you need to read. You can look at some resources to help you get some good ideas. You can look at prior student work samples from other classes, and you can read through all of the exact expectations here. For this assignment, you will be creating an advertisement for this course, something you might see on a bulletin board at the school, something that would entice someone else to try to take this class. You can choose to use my course particularly, or just any basic English 2311 Technical and Business Writing course. If you look in your textbook through Chapter 7, you'll find some guidance on things to include when you're designing a document. You'll consider other resources provided here in the module. And you can use whatever program you like to make it, but remember that Word is the most basic and you absolutely may use Word. If you use something else, just remember that your final file must be in a PDF format. If you do something like Canva, don't feel like you have to pay for any memberships or any additional premium offerings. Just do the best you can with what you have available. Any images that you use should not contain watermarks though. Make sure that it's free to use. Choose something else if the one you have contains watermarks or if you have to pay for it. Please don't pay for anything for this assignment. Nothing detracts from a great design other than seeing the crossed words where it says stock photo. So if you're using a stock photo, make sure that it's one you can use freely. And remember that in the tips, tricks, and training videos, there are some tips for finding the images that you can use freely. Make sure that when you do download and save your work that you use the highest quality settings that you can. When I open it to grade it, if it has pixelation or if it looks fuzzy or out of focus, then you will lose points for that. Your final document must be one full regular page, 8.5 by 11. Keep in mind this is prepared for print. This is something that is not going to be seen on a screen. It's going to be printed on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. That means that you need to mind your margins. If you put words right up to the very, very edge of the page, while they look fine on a screen, when you try to print them, unless you have a specialized printer, they're going to get cut off. So we're going to assume you have just a regular standard printer and you need to leave an appropriate margin. Your ad needs to be visually appealing, it needs to be eye-catching, it has to have at least 2 images, though one of those could be the background or something just decorative. Generally, though, most people tend to do more than 2 images in these. The main visual image that you have, if you do use something for a background, needs to have something to do with the course in some way. So in other words, don't just put some random sunset or concert or some mountain. But if you want to use something like that, it's fine, as long as you have some sort of a slogan to tie it into technical and business writing. Otherwise, use something that sort of has something to do with writing or computers or something like that. Make sure that you have all the information that someone would need in order to decide to take the class, the course rubric and number, ENGL 2311, and the longer name, Technical and Business Writing. It's not actually required, but most people are not going to know what ENGL 2311 is. You also need to make sure to include how to sign up for the class, when it's available, what mode of instruction it's offered in, and who to contact with questions. Keep in mind that is not the course instructor. If you've had a question about a class you're taking here, who did you ask? You'll want to make sure that you include that information. Finally, you need to include any other relevant information that you need in order to entice others to take the course, but keep in mind that it shouldn't be too wordy. This is not an essay, it's an ad. You're trying to grab attention as people walk by and direct them to get more information in the proper places. Finally, when you've completed everything and you're ready to turn it in, you'll come here to where it says Submit A1 Class Flyer. Click in, and it will tell you that you can start the attempt and submit your work here. This assignment will be due by 11:59 p.m. on its due date, and if you have any additional questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me to get those answers.